Today's Seller News episode is all about highlighting new Etsy Seller app features, purchase protection program rollout, holiday calendar, and updates for this holiday season, and a brand new segment of Killing It. Let's dive in on today's episode of Seller News. Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to a brand shiny new episode of Etsy Seller News, Friday edition, where I dive into some important things that you need to know in regard to selling on Etsy or selling online, things that are relevant, pertinent to you guys so you can stay updated, stay informed, and continue to focus on your business. I'm LL, your host. And your guide through this episode. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you guys as usual, and especially I like doing these Friday episodes because I get to dive into some fun segments and talk about some things I don't normally get to talk about on the normal podcast. So let's dive into some important newsworthy things that I want to cover today. So the first one is Etsy, the brand new Etsy seller, the brand new, not new Etsy seller app. It's been around for a long time. A lot of people just didn't know about it because Etsy was testing it out with select people, even though everyone could access it. Some people had different features. Well, they have rolled it out. It's live to everyone. They have announced it. And they just announced that they rolled out private notes on orders. So you can put private notes on orders to remind yourself to do things where the seller can't see it and won't show up. Now, this is something that was always on the Sell on Etsy app. So I don't know why this is something that they're announcing and as something new. Maybe it wasn't available right away on the Etsy seller app. I didn't check that per se, but it's something that I've used for a long time, especially with changes of orders. So if someone wants some like a sizing change, a color change, something like that, an address change, I will go in there and put a private note reminding myself to make that change when I'm fulfilling the order or making the order. So I use it that way. I'm not sure how everyone else uses it, but I think it is. I'm glad they have it because I've used it a lot. Helps me be reminded of things that I need to update on the order. Otherwise, I would 100% forget and send out the wrong stuff, and then you'd have a PO customer, which we all don't want. So it is there in the app, the Sell on Etsy app, Etsy Seller app. The Sell on Etsy app is the old one. They're getting rid of that after the first of the year, so you better get used to the new one. And the new one's pretty good. I like it. I don't have any complaints on it. All right, the other thing that is, I've talked about it before, but it is live now, is the Etsy Purchase Protection Program. I've covered this in episode 119 of the Handmade and Beyond podcast, the normal podcast that comes out on Tuesdays. So if you want to go and get an in-depth overview of it, make sure you check out episode 119. But basically the basic gist of it is Etsy is now covering purchases for buyers and sellers up to $250 where you're protected. There's certain criteria that you have to meet. Obviously you have to have valid tracking information, ship it out on time, not package it inappropriately, different things like that where you can qualify. It's up to $250. Over $250 is not covered. And I believe you can use it up to 2 times a year after that. You are no longer protected. Normally, you should have got insurance for expensive stuff anyways, and especially over $250, you should be getting your own insurance on these packages. But Etsy is now helping buyers and sellers out with offering that coverage, so you don't have to worry about if the package is lost or damage being out that money, especially if you sell more expensive items. So I think it's pretty cool. It's a step in the right direction, but more on that in those previous episodes, so you can see what is going on. But that is the basic gist of it. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is Etsy issued a holiday season message for current sellers to start getting ready for this holiday season. Now, I did cover this in a recent podcast episode as well, podcast 125. Sorry, I don't mean to be sending you other places, but I did cover it with more strategies, in-depth strategies, and best practices to get ready for the holiday season. But Etsy just released a blanket statement being like, hey, get ready. Holiday season is coming. Get your holiday stuff up. And actually, to coincide with this, Walmart released a statement too, basically telling their sellers, because they have, I think they are I think they actually may be the second biggest online platform in the world as far as selling, which a lot of people don't realize that. I believe they're definitely in the top five. A lot of people think of Walmart brick and mortar, but they are a huge online presence. So they told, and you can sell on there as well. So they told their people to get ready as well. And they actually expect a 15% year over year growth when it comes to selling online for this year's sales. So it's pretty good. That should definitely translate to Etsy. It should definitely translate to other platforms as well. If they're expecting that, it's not like just people are going to only buy on Walmart. People buy on other online platforms as well. So that's a good indicator of how well things should do this holiday season. The other thing that Etsy released, which was pretty cool, I thought, was they released a calendar and broke down the holidays into distinct periods based on last year's shopping data, based on sales and traffic and all that stuff. So I'm gonna run through that really fast. You can view this on. I'll drop an article in the link where it has this stuff in there. I'll put the calendar in the notes. Never mind. I'll just make it easy on you guys. I'll put this calendar in the notes as well, wherever you're watching this, the show notes, whether it be YouTube, the podcast. So Halloween traffic picks up August 1st, peaks October 3rd, and then tapers off, obviously, after October 31st. So start getting ready now for Halloween. Thanksgiving traffic picks up September 1st, peaks November 4th, tapers off November 28th. Christmas traffic picks up September 1st, peaks November 28th, and then of course tapers off January 2nd. A little later because people buy for Christmas. People are procrastinators, man. They buy stuff late. It's crazy to me that people still do that, but I get orders super late that are clearly gifts for Christmas, depending on the messages that people are putting. So yeah, that's very weird. Hanukkah traffic picks up October 10th, peaks November 9th, and then tapers off December 10th. So that's a pretty good time frame based on actual data numbers that Etsy is giving us, because they want you to be successful. Therefore, they're successful. So they want you to be ready for the holiday season. So if you're sticking to that schedule, you guys should be doing pretty well and getting ahead of the game as far as getting your stuff up and getting ready for those particular holidays, if you're selling for any of those holidays. But that is it for the newsworthy stuff that's happening this week and recently. The other thing that I wanted to dive into is a brand new segment of Killing It, where I dive into a shop that's absolutely killing it on Etsy to inspire you, give you best practices that they're doing well, and let you know that this is something, if they're doing it, that you can do it too. You can get a piece of the pie. Don't get frustrated that they're doing awesome. Be happy because you can do it too if they are doing it. Obviously, your business or your niche may not be the exact same, but if people are doing well on Etsy, there's no reason why other people cannot do well on Etsy. All right, so the shop I have for you today is Caitlin Minimalist. All right, so Caitlin Minimalist sells jewelry. Clearly, I'm going to do a split screen, so if you guys are watching this, you can see it. Otherwise, I'm going to explain it as best as I can. I'll drop a link to this shop in the show notes so you can go there and see this shop for yourself. So this shop has had a staggering 1,730,000 sales, grossing almost 60 million in revenue, which just freaking blows my mind that a shop is just, I mean, good for them, but holy crap. I mean, granted, this shop has an entire team. We don't know the whole back end strategy of this shop and how much labor and people and personnel actually are doing this stuff, but my God, they are absolutely killing it on Etsy. They're doing well, clearly, as you guys can see. So when looking at this shop, they sell jewelry, and then with any niche, it's super important to take good photos. But jewelry, especially, it's important to take good photos. So they do a really good job of showcasing some of their jewelry on the banner image. They do a carousel, which you scrolls to the left and the right to show multiple images to showcase as much as possible in their banner image, which is cool because it's the first thing that people see. And a lot of their other photos are really good, which you guys can't see if you're watching this. However, there are some, just a little knock. There are some where with necklaces they're a little dark and kind of hard to see, but a lot of their other rings and other jewelry, it's really good photos. So I'm kind of a little not taken back, but I'm a little surprised that some of their necklaces are so dark. But this goes to show you, even $1 million shop is not perfect. And they're still making tons and tons of sales. So you don't have to be perfect. You can fix this stuff as you go along. Even this shop isn't perfect, but overall, they're doing a really good job, with the majority of their photos. The other thing I really like with this shop is they do a great job curating the shop sections according to keywords. So they're simplistic, so you know which shop section you're gonna go to find a particular thing. But they are very highly targeted on keywords. Necklace, name, initial. So obviously you go to this section to view a necklace that has a name and initial on it. Necklace, ready to ship. So they're pre-made necklaces. Ring, name, initial. Earrings, name, initial. So okay, I'm going there and it can have a name and initial in it. Also, shop sections work as mini landing pages. So they are getting an extra boost because those are highly ranked important keywords, targeted keywords. So it's going to go into the algorithm and help them there as well. So they do a good job curating their shop sections, as you can see, which I think is a really good job and super smart. The other thing that I really like about this shop, that they do a really good job about, and it's something I've talked about in the past, and a lot of people don't give it a lot of thought, is the About section. So their pictures in the About section are really good. You can clearly see them making the products and wearing the products, packaging the products. So they do a good job of a 360 view of their process to give customers a good idea of, okay, they're hand making the stuff, hand packaging the stuff, and then the final product being worn and used. So it gives you that 360 view. People can envision it. They know it's real. They know it's being made, handmade. They can, enjoy that aspect of it because that's what a lot of people want when they come to Etsy. So they do a good job showcasing their shop and products in the About section. But what I really love is the written part of their shop section because they curate their vision and brand very concisely. A lot of people go into selling online, creating a company. They don't have a vision for their brand. They may not even have a brand. They just throw stuff up trying to make sales. And this is why I tell people all the time, you can't do that. You're not going to stick with it. You have to have a vision. You have to treat your business, even though it may start out like a hobby, you have to treat it like a company that is a living, breathing thing, that has a vision, that has a brand, that stands for something. And this is what they do really well. They explain their story first and foremost, and they do a good job breaking it out in sections too, so you can clearly see their journey. So they describe their story, and then they describe their specific the name of their company and the collection and what it represents and what the customer can expect from Caitlin Minimalist. And then they explain how much they care about their customers. So you're in good hands. You can have that warm and fuzzy feeling when you're buying jewelry from this company. And then they explain their future. Where are they going? What are they going to consistently provide to their customers? I just think this is a really smart way to use their About section rather than just throwing a paragraph in there. They break it out in sections and they clearly take their customer along the journey so that they can see what's going on with the company, what they can expect with the company, and get some feelings and emotion from what they're putting in their About section. So that is really smart. And the last thing I'm going to touch on, so you can see they have a bunch of shop people helping them out. So it's not just one person doing this. The last thing that you can see that I think is really smart is an FAQ section. a pretty robust FAQ section answering any question that a customer may have or maybe has already asked. And this is really important for someone that offers a lot of custom products. Customers are going to have a lot of questions. So unless you want a lot of extra customer service, do a about section, do a FAQ section answering these questions, breaking everything out in detail as much as possible so customers don't have to guess. They know exactly what is going on and they don't have questions. Most times customers have questions. They're going to not reach out. They're just going to move on to a shop that answers those questions that's similar and buy from them. That's what you're trying to avoid in the FAQ section. Will you still get questions that are in the FAQs? Of course you will. People don't read. We all know this. But this will help out a lot with answering questions for people that do jump to the FAQ section, that want to know something specific, or they're doing their own research. This just shows that you're taking the extra time and effort and you're very thorough with what you're offering. So even more so than answering questions, if you're taking the time to put all this information in there, it adds a lot of reassurance to someone buying from you, because I know you're the real deal. If you go to a shop that has no FAQs, no about section, no banner image, it doesn't look really good. It doesn't create a lot of confidence that the product that they're buying from you is going to be high quality, is going to be good. They're going to get it on time. They're going to get it at all. It just looks kind of shady. So this is just one component to add that confidence for people buying from you in your Etsy shop. So those are the main things that I think they're doing really, really good with this shop. So clearly you can see Caitlin Minimalist is absolutely killing it. They're doing a fantastic job with their shop. We can all learn something, including myself, from what they're doing, how they're doing it. There's not a specific set way to do things all the time. Some things may work for certain niches, some things may not. But we can all take cues, we can all take guides from companies and businesses that are doing things and getting a lot of sales, and try things out, test things with our own business, find our own way. But follow the breadcrumbs that are already out there for you guys. You don't have to do this on your own. You don't have to try and figure things out. Things have already been done for you. So follow these breadcrumbs, these cues, try things out, test things out, continue to consistently work on your business. And I promise you, you will start moving in the direction that you want to move in. But you have to be consistent. You have to continue working on your business. But that is it. That is all I'm going to talk about as far as my soapbox today. So hopefully that inspires you guys to get out there and kick butt in your Etsy business. And those news updates are helpful as well. But that is it. If you guys like this episode, please leave a comment, leave a review wherever you're listening, leave a like, share. I appreciate it. It helps me reach more Etsy sellers just like yourselves, so that they can come and hear me fumble over my words more. But seriously speaking, I really appreciate the feedback, the reviews. I read them all. Keeps me going, keeps me inspired to continue to help you guys out with your businesses. That's it for today. Have an amazing rest of your day, and have a good weekend.